crispy edges on the burgers. Oh, and the juices. Oh. It is tailgate season, which means it is time to start thinking about finger foods and things that will please the crowd at a game day party or at a tailgate. And today we're gonna be making our mini smash burgers, AKA smash burger sliders. Starts off with some absolutely beautiful ground beef, and then you're gonna portion it out into 1.5 to, 1.5 ounces is great. You can also do 1.3 ounces, but anywhere around 1.5 ounces is what you're looking for. So just a small meatball like this is what you're gonna need for a mini smash burger. All right, out of 1 pound, you're gonna get 12 even 1.3 ounce balls. If you do 2 pounds, it's gonna be the same amount of weight, but you're just gonna get 24. So you can make this as 1 pound or 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm gonna pop these in the fridge while we prep everything else for the mini smash burgers. First things first, we gotta talk about the cheese. And you're gonna hear a lot of opinions from a lot of different people about the cheese. I'm gonna tell you that American cheese wrapped in plastic is the best cheese for smash burgers. If you disagree, you can use sliced cheddar, but American cheese melts the best, and it's just a classic smash burger cheese. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take all these out of their wrappers, and then we're gonna cut them into quarters. And I know that a quarter of a slice does not seem like much for a slider because, well, it's not. But each slider gets 2 patties and 2 slices of cheese. We're doing a double decker here, so you will get 2 slices per slider. If you want it super cheesy, you can always do a couple layers of cheese. So now that we have our cheese prepped, it's time to prep our lettuce. Another thing that can be somewhat of controversy is what kind of lettuce you use. I always recommend using iceberg. Again, it's classic for smash burgers. The key to getting the core of the lettuce out is to give it a good whack against the table. So you're gonna find that center and you're just gonna go like that, and it will release it right out. And then what I do is I fill this with cold water, and I drain it out, and you've just washed your head of iceberg lettuce. All right, and then I'm just going to separate out the leaves here, and we will probably fold 1/2 of a leaf per slider. The thing about the iceberg lettuce is that you're really just adding crunch with the iceberg lettuce, so you want to add quite a bit so you do get that nice crunch alongside that really juicy, meaty, fatty slider. All right. That's done. We've got our lettuce, we've got our little cheese squares. So generally with my smash burgers, my full-size smash burgers, I make a really simple burger sauce, not a classic smash sauce. Has a little bit of mayonnaise, yellow mustard, and whole grain mustard. However, since we're going to be making a lot more burgers, not just 4, there's a lot of assembly involved in smash burgers, and to cut down that time, since we're making more, because we're making mini ones, I want to incorporate some of the toppings that would usually be on the burger into the sauce, so that's just a one-stop shop. You put on your sauce, you don't have to put on too many toppings, and you're good to go. So instead of layering on sliced pickles and sliced onions, we're gonna actually be adding that to the sauce. So I'm adding some minced pickles, a little bit of minced yellow onion, and then we're gonna also use the trio that makes the best burger sauce, and a touch of ketchup. Okay, so I'm gonna start mincing up my pickles and onions, and then we'll whip this up. Ooh. These look so good. Yeah, I can almost taste it. Before I minced some onion for the sauce, I did slice up some really thin slices of onion that we're gonna use to griddle with our burgers, so it's not an extra topping. I also have some pretzel buns that I just warmed up. We're also gonna toast them in the cast iron skillet to give them a little bit of color and char on the bottom. You can skip that if you want to. And then, what else do we need? One thing I wanna mention, this is gonna be the best way to smash your burgers, is to use a burger smasher or a burger iron. My friend Brad sent this to me, and it is absolutely life-changing. It's amazing. Alternatively, you can use a spatula with a potato masher as counterweight. So if you smash it down, you can use the potato masher to get it nice and thin. And even more alternatively, if this is the only kind of spatula that you have that has holes in it, once you put your ball down into the cast iron skillet, cover it with a little bit of parchment paper, and then use this to push down. That way the meat does not go through the holes in your spatula. But the best thing to use is this. The second best thing to use is a really big spatula, bigger than this, that's heavier duty, And if it's not heavy duty, use a potato masher to use that counterweight to get it nice and thin. So I'm preheating my cast iron skillet. We're gonna toast our buns first. We're gonna get those out, and then it's time to get smashing. All right, our burgers are cooked and it is time to assemble. So I'm going to start by putting a little bit of sauce on the bottom of our bun. And then I'm going to follow that up with 2 sliders. Make sure you get the griddled onions on the bottom. Layer those onto your bun. Add a little bit more sauce to the top bun, and then we're also gonna put on our iceberg lettuce. Yum. And I just fold it so it's a nice square and it's nice and crunchy. Oh. And the juices. Oh. Crispy edges on the burgers. Oh, so juicy. The perfect bite for your next tailgate.